All right, what's going on, guys? It's Kyle Johns back for another session. Today we are going to go through some of the deals or leads that we got from the last call, and we are also going to hopefully try to get to some calls, so we'll see what we can get to. Let's see, getting a little feedback. Josh, are you on? Can you hear me loud and clear? Loud and clear. All right, you are muted now. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to run through some leads. Let's see. Josh, can you hear that printer going off in the background?
Yeah, a little bit.
I think I'm receiving a fax here. One second. All right. All right, so look, this is what, on a day-to-day basis, you're going to be running through. You're going to have a screen that looks similar to this. You're going to be running through a screen that looks something like this. So every time you make a call and you do like what we did on the last session, you're going to be putting the leads into Podio. And then, of course, you'll go back and go over the lead and see if it's a potential deal for you to pursue. Let's see. Catching some background noise. I don't know what's going on. Can you? So let's see. We're just gonna run through some of these. These actually just got put in, guys. This is a Saturday, so been working a little bit this morning. These are some of the ones that we didn't get to. We're gonna go through on this session. So with this specific lead, this was put in by my team. Not familiar with it at this point. But we'll basically go through, take a look at the lead, read over everything. I already know, well, I know this person right here. I know the owner, I'm familiar with her. We've done business before. She generally prices her properties too high. I don't know if that's the right. No. Hold on one second, guys. Let me pull this up. right. Hold off on that. So as I was saying, whenever I do this, I'm just going to check out the property real quick. If you saw the video I put out on comping properties, this is one way that I do just to see if they're even in the ballpark of what we'd be able to be at. And this property looks like it's in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, no. So we're not going to be interested in this property. It's way on the west side of Pennsylvania. We are way over here in Philadelphia. So I'll just go in and make a little comment. Let's see. This is a deal that the owner was open to a potential owner finance. Let's see. All right. This is a deal that we are currently working on right now. What I'm doing here is I'm going to be calling an agent because this property, our direct buyers did not want it. This agent is also a wholesaler, so he's familiar how the business works. We built a relationship up, and whenever my buyers do not want a property, I'll send it over to him, and he will either pass it on to his buyers. He's been doing this for a long time in Philadelphia, or he will put it on the MLS, and whatever we sell it for, somehow compensation is given. He cannot technically pay me, so usually, we'll work it out somehow. Lee,
Yeah.
how you doing?
All right. What's up?
Not much. Got an address for you for a property that we're looking at. If you doing any work today?
Well, I'm home now. Where's it at?
It's in Philly. Let me see. In 1 second, it's pulling it up. 32.
What's that?
It's in 19132 on Carlisle Street, North Carlisle Street.
100.
It's 3041.
3041, 2 blocks off of Allegheny Avenue.
Yep.
Right. How much do they want?
We've talked him into 15. We've already negotiated the contract. We just it's next to a board up, which is one of the main things that we were kind of concerned about, but I don't know that block specifically. Figured I'd give you a call.
Well, Carlisle Street's an okay block. If it's next to Florida, I got a guy that buys there. He's got houses. He's been buying houses right around there, anywhere between 11 and 20,000. Right in that range. It's a 3-bedroom.
It is, yes, 3-bedroom, 1 bath.
How bad is it?
Let's see, I'm reading it right now. Did some work, never finished, lost interest, needs a hot water heater. Nothing has been stolen, so your electrical plumbing's good. Yeah, basically he did some work. He's a carpenter, just trying to get the money that he put back in. So the notes that I have.
So he wants 15 for it. Is it vacant?
It is vacant. Let me see. There's a couple other notes here. It's going to need some drywall repair. Let's see. It's been prepped for stucco. Windows are in. Let's see. Needs countertops, sinks. Bathroom needs plumbing.
It's a rehab, and he wants 15.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's worth it. Is it on Lockbox?
I can get you in there. If I'll give you the contact if you want to take a look at it.
I'll call you Monday when Sam gets in, and I'll tell him that it's 20,000, and I'll see if he's interested.
All right, sounds good.
So find out how to get in other words, does he have to meet us there or what?
All right.
But Sam has been good at telling time. He's got so much going on. He may say to me one and show up at 4.
Okay, well, I will get on figuring out how we can get you guys in there either early next week, and we'll see.
Yeah, he's here Monday.
Okay.
All right?
Sounds good.
Okay. Okay.
All right, Josh, did you hear that? So that is like I said, that's an agent that we've done a lot of business, done, good amount of deals together. Basically, he's just very open to working with investors. That's his main business. He has a ton of buyers around Philadelphia. His main business comes from basically, he calls me a couple times each week. We go over leads that I'm not, my buyers aren't taking, and he just does that with a bunch of wholesalers. So he's got a bunch of big buyers, real good to find someone like that down where you are, because we can, we're definitely going to need someone to pick that up for us whenever we, in the Baton Rouge, New Orleans area.
Have that connection down here.
All right. So these are those 2 calls that we did yesterday. We're just going to go through them. We're going to give them a call, see what we can get going. But first, we're going to pull some comps. Let me try this again. I don't remember the password. I didn't write it down. No, I don't remember. Okay. Let me see, I just switched on my other account. Let me see if I can. That makes a difference. All right, there we go. All right, so what are we looking at here? I believe basement finished wood floors throughout bottom level, carpet upstairs, roof windows brand new, plumbing, electrical are good. I think he's living in the property and let's see, rents for 800. He's rented the property before, if I remember correctly. So, Josh, what I do here before giving them a call, we want to see where they are as far as price, um, and see if they're even in the ballpark of the right area. See, he's asking 70. All right. And so, Josh, you will have access to this as well. This is REI Black Book. It's a tool that Barbara is actually giving to me because she went off and I don't know, I believe she got a job with Robert Kiyosaki, and they get a lot of this stuff through his program. So let's see.
Like a property finder.
Well, it does all kind of stuff. I mean, like I said, we're going to be using Podio for the most part, but this has all kind of stuff that you can use to analyze properties, to help market your properties. I mean, I really can't even get into it. It does a ton of stuff, but we're going to be using Podio, and then we're going to be switching over to another program that I'm not going to talk about right now, just because we're on the webinar. I'll tell you about it when we're not live, but and it will be released when I am using it for the other listeners. I will talk about it, but it's just not released yet. It's still in beta, so we're not going to talk about it. But once we switch over to that system, it does a lot of what you need for real estate, but it's not real estate specific. This REI Black Book is real estate specific. And so, we'll use some stuff in here and kind of just combine the systems together. So, let's see. So this property right here is not looking like, I mean, there's only a couple that have sold even close to the 70,000. Looking at one here, 80. Here's 60, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90. Okay, it's not bad. 90. Those are a little ways away, though. When you're pulling comps in Baton Rouge, Josh, it's going to be different than pulling comps in New Orleans, depending on where you're at. Like when you're in the city, all right,
Yeah.
like the city of New Orleans, or for anybody else that's listening that is around a larger metropolitan area, you're going to be pulling comps almost on a block-to-block basis, because these comps all over here, this is a whole different area. This could be a different area. You don't know, you don't know, of course, without driving it, but if you're just pulling comps on your computer, I mean, you want to make sure that you're getting the comps that are closest to your property. So there's one that sold for 53, 55. So even over here is a little far, but it's still in the 50s, which is good. That's low. And that's 80. So he's looking to get 70,000. You know, that may be a little bit high, but you know, we can take a look at that through a couple other sources. So I can also pull some information off of the MLS for Philly, which is something that we will be getting access to in the New Orleans and Baton Rouge markets. I will talk with you again on how to do that. If you watch, see, I put a video up the other day that briefly explains it, but basically we're going to get to some networking groups and just, you know, get introduced into some agents and start building those relationships up. And once you build a relationship up with an agent and they see that you're a serious, you know, you can do some serious business, or you know, you're serious about sending them leads, or, you know, helping them in any way possible, then you ask for MLS access as an assistant agent and tell them that you're going to be sending them all of your leads through, you know, that you don't use, over to them for listings, or, you know, you'll be sending them deals to look at. So I don't have access through Lee, but he did offer it to me. That's Lee, is who we just talked to. I have it through another, you know, buddy of mine who's an agent that I met just in a real estate group. And so again, for people that are listening, yes, you do have to get out and be active and, you know, try to meet and network with people at these events. I personally should go to a lot more events than I do, but you know, time is it's hard. You know, whenever you get caught up, and I realize that. But at this point, you know, in my business, I'm focusing on some other aspects. But, you know, if you are looking to try to build or get access to the MLS, there's no better way than getting out there, networking, building those relationships, and you know, leveraging that with the agent to be able to get access to the MLS. Guys, all you can do is ask. You know, the worst thing you're going to hear is no. And if that person says no, there are tons of other excuse me, agents out there that, if you're going to be sending them leads, then they'd be happy to make you an assistant agent to give you MLS access. I mean, you do have to pay for it. I think up here it's like $30-something every 6 months. It's very cheap, you know, to be able to have access to that. So I'm not going to use that because a lot of people don't have that. And then I can also get a decent understanding for this property in this area. So we're going to give this guy a call, and we're going to see where he stands as far as a lease option, because clearly we're not in the wholesale category here with this property. Josh, go ahead and mute yourself. Yep, thank you.
You have reached the voicemail box of 21580034454.
Hi, Ricky. This is Kyle Johns. We spoke yesterday in reference to your property at 3431 North Howard Street in Philadelphia. I was able to take a look at it and pull some comps, do some homework on the property. I would like to talk to you about it. So when you do get this message, can you please give me a call at 215-650-7761. Again, that is 215-650-7761. Thank you very much. Yep. Was getting a lot of feedback during that phone call. Could you hear that?
Yeah, what was it?
It was just real staticky.
I didn't hear it.
So I don't make calls on Sundays. I don't definitely don't believe in disturbing people on Sunday. You know, Saturday's even kind of pushing it, especially, I don't know what the weather is like there, but up here it is gorgeous outside, so, you know, I highly doubt we're going to get a huge response on the phone today. But, you know, it doesn't hurt just going through this, showing you, this is a day-to-day, literally day-to-day, it's the same thing, just different leads. You know, and if you sit down, you can really get this done within 1 to 2 hours. And, you know, it makes it very simple. And that's why we use this this type of program where you can actually go in, see the leads that you need to talk to. And so when we were talking about making your calls, and you get started making your calls, well, initially you're going to have just the phone call gathering information from these sellers, right? And then once you start gathering all this information and you start getting some quality leads, you're going to have to set them, you know, you're going to be having them in your system, and you're going to be setting times to follow up with them. Generally, we follow up within 2 to 3 days, but being that I'm leaving tomorrow to go out of town, I wanted to go ahead and get this session in. You know, we're definitely going to do a session early next week, but I will be in Ocean City, so you know, we'll definitely get one in. But I wanted to try to get back to these people and get them some information if needed before I headed out. So we'll go ahead and do the same thing with this lead here. And, you know, this may look repetitive to you guys, but literally understanding how to comp a property in order enough to at least get the sellers over some information, or to understand if you have a potential deal, is a very important part of your business. I mean, if not one of the most important parts of your business. If you don't understand how to make an offer or understand what type of deal you have on your hands, then that means you cannot present the correct offer to these sellers. So, you know, again, that last property, it was, you saw the comps here, you know, you saw what we looked at, and you saw the price of the property that he's asking. Clearly, we do not have a wholesale cash offer type deal in our hands. So when we were, you know, I would have not pitched that when talking to him on the phone. So, you know, again, we'll go through and do the same thing with this property. And of course, guys, explaining this process slows this all down. Instead, if you have, you know, 10 leads to go through, it's really should not take you a long time. You should dedicate about an hour to follow up and an hour to getting out some new, you know, or drumming up some new leads through your phone calls. You know, and if you're doing different types of marketing, direct mail, internet type marketing with landing pages or squeeze pages, you know, bandit signs, flyers, whatever you're doing, you know, and the way that you're drumming up business, you should dedicate certain times for, again, follow-up, and certain times for concentrating on getting those new leads and, you know, getting those to the table and seeing if you have a potential deal on your hands. All right, so let's just get some more information. This is a 3, let's see, 1.5 with finished basement, central air, wall-to-wall carpet, tile in the kitchen, new windows, roof is good. Let's see, they're asking 50. This is a probate type deal. You know, you definitely want to be focusing on some probates, some divorces, vacant properties, high equity, absentee owners, all stuff like that. But probate is a killer lead source. Should get back to that. We used to go down to the courthouse and pull leads every Monday, but we have not been doing that for the past couple months. This one actually came through off one of the leads that we had just recently pulled. Let's see, inherited type properties. So they're open to owner finance. All right. So they're asking 50. So we're going to look right here in this area. This is the property, and it did not give us one comp around this area. So this is what I'm talking about, guys. This is why right here is a great example of why this program would not be beneficial to you for pulling comps on this property. And that's one downfall to a program like this. If you're trying to only use something, or one source for pulling comps, you definitely, I suggest using at least, 2 to 3 sources. 3 is probably the best. I mean, I'm only using 2 here for the sake of speed, but using 2 to 3, 4 sources of pulling some comps and making sure that you're getting the correct information. All of these sites that like I said, I went over in a previous video, all of the sites that you can use that are available to the public. It's just like everything else on the internet. The information can be submitted by almost anyone, so you want to always check your sources. When pulling information on a property, you want to make sure that it matches up on a couple different sites, so that way you have a clear understanding on how to proceed with what you would like to do with that lead. So we'll take a look at this here. Okay. So we've got a 5-bedroom. Nope, it's a 3-1. 2033. 20. And that may. Let's see. So we have a sold at 35, one for sale at 99. Sold at 57, right across the street. And this is a 3-1 that sold at 57 in June. Let's see here. Pretty basic. If this guy's property is in the condition that he explained it, may not be an issue. Maybe a pretty good price for a lease purchase or owner finance type scenario. We're going to give him a call. Let's see. We're going to see if we can get him on the phone and talk to him about that.
Hello?
Yeah, hi, my name is Kyle Johns. I spoke with Kurt yesterday in reference to the property on Woodstock.
Oh, yes, that's my husband. Oh, you can hold on 1 second, please?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Hello?
Kurt, how you doing? This is Kyle Johns.
Okay, how you doing?
Doing well. We spoke yesterday about the property on Woodstock.
Yeah.
All right. I was able to take a look at the area, and I just wanted to touch base back with you. Do you have a minute? Is now a good time?
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so looking at it, I know you guys were asking around 50.
Mm-hmm.
We would probably, being that we are investors, I would probably have to come in at about 55% of that to be able to do a cash deal. So I don't think that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, not right now.
Not at this point. Yep, absolutely, and that's fine. But I did want to talk to you. I mean, how long have you guys been trying to sell this property?
Well, not long. It's been about 3 months now.
Okay, gotcha. All right, and if it doesn't sell, what are you guys going to end up doing? Are you going to rent it out or just keep?
Maybe try like an owner finance with about maybe 20,000 down, something like that.
Gotcha. Are you familiar with what a lease purchase is?
Well, someone just sent me information on when I was calling about that, so I'm gonna read over the information about that.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, do you mind if I explain to you what my company does? We can set up lease purchases or an owner finance deal for you.
Okay.
That's no cost to you.
Okay.
So basically, the way we would set it up, it's nothing but a normal rental with an option to purchase. The buyer that we bring in rents while building up their credit. Now, this is for, an owner finance or a lease purchase type of deal. So they're going to be renting while building up their credit, to be able to purchase the property. Instead of the first month in security, now this is for a lease purchase. Instead of the first month in security for a normal rental, we get you first month and we take an option fee, which we use to pay our attorneys and our team, and that's paid by the buyer that we bring in, the tenant buyer. So basically what we'll do is we bring them in and we help them and get them in the position where they can afford, a monthly payment and qualify for a mortgage within 1 to 2 years. And, they're able to give you market value for your house. So there's no commissions taken out whenever the house sells or anything like that. And then in addition to that, they also take care of the property, a lot better than a normal tenant because they're looking at it as, their property. They're looking to try to buy the property. And our agreement with our tenant buyers also makes them responsible for the repairs to the property. So, if the furnace goes out, they fix it. Toilet stops up, they fix it. All of that. So takes the landlord headaches away from it for you.
Okay.
Now, on the owner finance side, that's a little different. Of course, they would have to take care of the property 100%. I mean, are you familiar with how that works as well?
What's that again?
For the owner finance type of deal, are you familiar with how that works?
Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with that.
Okay, yeah, I figured that since we spoke about that yesterday. But yeah, I mean, I would like to send you over some information, let you take a look at my website, stuff like that. Keep us in mind.
Okay.
I think I do have your email already. It's the Home Cloning LLC.
Yeah.
All right. What does that business do?
Well, I was doing carpentry at one point.
Carpet cleaning?
Yeah, carpentry. Like,
carpentry. Okay.
Home remodel. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, good deal. Well, you guys have a good weekend. I'll send that information over. It's going to come from Kyle Johns, email address k.johns297@gmail.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Kirk. Have a good one.
You too.
All right. So clearly, do you have the script that I sent you in front of you?
With a wholesale script?
Not the wholesale. That was.
That was give me a bunch of them.
Yeah, that was the for rent sale script. So whenever transitioning over from a property where somebody's looking, they're mostly interested in selling their property. A lot of times when you're talking to a potential lease purchase deal, of course the owners are going to be 100% more interested in selling the property, right? That's what they really want to do. So offering them a lease purchase most of the time is a second option for them. And whenever you're doing that, you want to make sure that they understand the benefits to a lease purchase and kind of how you want to make them feel like it's not going to be a headache. You're going to bring someone in, you take care of everything. You have the tenant buyer you bring in, they're taking care of the property, and really it's fairly simple if you look at the script I sent you to run through that with them. But to get them to even to that mindset, you see somebody had already pitched this to him, But hopefully, since we touched base with him yesterday, and we're trying to build up a little rapport there, that's why I asked him what his company did and stuff like that. You know, just trying to be a little bit better. You don't want to go, you know, too far. I didn't want to lose him in conversation or trying to explain things. Keeping in mind that it is Saturday still. You know, I keep all of that kind of stuff in mind. So, you know, but transitioning them into thinking about a lease purchase is that question that I asked. I said, you know, look, we would probably have to be at about 55, you know, 50% of what you're asking for the property to be able to purchase it cash. But, you know, I asked him how long he's been trying to sell his property, right? How long have you been trying to sell? 2 to 3 months. Okay, well, if your property does not sell, what are you going to do? Or if your property does not sell, are you going to rent it like everyone else? And if they say yes, or if they say, if you ask them what they're going to do, and they say, well, I'm probably going to have to rent the property. Well, that's when you transition in with, okay, well, let me explain to you, you know, how to kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone and rent the property, or, you know, potentially sell the property and rent the property and sell it, you know, 1 to 2 years down the line, you know, hassle-free, not having to worry about renting it and selling it. You know, you can explain whatever way you want, whatever way you feel comfortable, but you kind of transition them into the mindset of, let me explain a type of deal that may be able to be a huge help to you or beneficial to you, less of a headache. And then you would say, you know, are you familiar with what a lease option or a lease purchase is, or, you know, in this case, owner financing? We spoke about that yesterday, so he, you know, I knew that he knew what that was. But yeah, you transition into that, and literally, if you go off that script that I just gave you, it literally explains it almost exactly the way I just explained it. Very simple. And the more you go over that, the more comfortable you'll become with kind of throwing in your own, you know, your own information, or, you know, kind of tagging on some other little questions, or, you know, transitions with whatever way you're feeling comfortable to do that based off the knowledge you have. So at this point, when he said, go ahead and send me some information, and again, the reason I'm not worried about anyone else is because you'd be surprised how many investors drop the ball with follow-up. You see what I'm saying?
With the follow-up, just because maybe they're a little too.
Yeah, maybe they're not as organized, or maybe they just forget about it, or maybe, you know, they'll call, the person doesn't answer, and they never call them again. So right now, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a follow-up for Monday. I'm going to go select his email address, and I got to get you these programs as well. Watch, you're gonna love this. This makes this super easy. So I'll go to compose right here, put in his email address, go down to my templates. This is called Yesware. It's free. So for anybody who's listening, if you do not have Yesware or something like it, I suggest getting it. So we're going to go down here to lease purchase information. We're going to type his name in. All right, so what this is this is kind of a recapping on what a lease purchase is. Goes through, it offers them a link to sign on the internet. It also kind of touches base, like I said, recaps on our conversation. It gives them a link to our website. Well, this is, let's see, the Rent Own Resource website, and then it also gives them another link to Renting to Buy, and a little testimonial here. So I'm going to attach. Let's see. And also, guys, I don't know, you know, if you are interested in doing lease purchasing, or you're just sticking with wholesaling, but we've tested a lot of ways of sending out the initial email, and this has been revised tons of times. Try to get it to the best, converting email. Whenever we sent this out initially, we did not have links for them to sign online, and we also sent them an email with, let's see, we also sent them the property information or the marketing agreement. Now we only send, let me see. Now I only send the lease option offer. So what that is it's without getting all the property information, without having them fill out 3 pages of information. The lease option offer is a very simple document that I will go through with you here in a second. Show you the lease option offer. All right. Switch this over. All right, so this is what the lease option offer looks like. Very simple for them to go in and fill out: date, their name, the property address, the rent they're looking for per month, the lease term, and we even tell them typically 18 to 24 months, the purchase price, the option period, which is going to match the lease term, right? Typically 18 to 24 months. It gives them a little bit more of an explanation of what we do. Since we do operate virtually, guys, we have this clause in here, which basically stops them from being able to circumvent us with any tenant buyers that we introduce them into. So if we do send a tenant buyer over to them as the homeowner and allow them to show the property, then we allow, of course, them to interact and them to exchange information, but the homeowner is not able to circumvent us with selling the property to the tenant buyer, with leasing the property to the tenant buyer, anything like that, just because we have this little clause in our contract. Just a little ninja trick right there you can throw in, very easy, and it kind of gives you a peace of mind when sending your tenant buyers to go to their appointments. Because let's be honest, I like to be as virtual as possible. I'm not looking to try to go show tons of properties. That takes up way too much of my time, and I'm not, I'm just not interested in driving around. You call it lazy, you call it whatever you want, but I call it smart because I'm able to sit behind my computer and coordinate showing for properties with the homeowners and the tenant buyers. So not only do we knock out them seeing the property, we also knock out them meeting each other, and we're able to get that all done in one shot. So take that for what it is. Oh, let's see here. All right, so we should be back up and running on the screen. Looking good, Josh? Green?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So back to this here, guys. This is just an email. Now I also use another program called Boomerang. So we're going to select, if not opened, we're going to boomerang this message in 2 days. So if we send this message to the homeowner and he does not open it, then this program will automatically resend this. I'm going to do 4 days. We'll do 4 days. So this will be sent to him on Wednesday of next week, again, if he does not open this email. All right, and so Yesware, the way this all kind of connects, guys, is Yesware will track emails that are opened, right? So if I send an email to anyone, I'm letting y'all know my secrets here. If if I send you an email, I'm able to tell if you opened it. So this is really powerful when making offers on properties. If you send an offer via email or something like that, and you want to know if the seller has even opened your offer, you have them in for a follow-up call, see where they stand. They haven't even opened the offer. Well, it's a waste of time. Maybe you should resend the email. Maybe you should call and see if they got the email. And it just kind of gives you a one-up on that conversation of understanding where they are. If you know they've opened it, multiple times, they're looking at it, they're, maybe you can tell. You'll see this guy right here open this email right there multiple times. Now this is not an offer. This is a contractor that I work with, but you're able to tell when people open the mail that you send, which makes it very powerful. All right. So we're set here. We have him set for a follow-up call, and that was definitely a success right there. All right. So these are some properties that we also went through the other day. We got this guy on the phone. He is a pretty big wholesaler around Philly, or he works with a big group of wholesalers around Philly. So what I will do is, and just to show you guys, like building your relationships with other investors. Like I said, I've mentioned this on every call. You're not going to always have a great conversation with every agent and every investor, because some people are just not open to working with other people. Maybe they just having a bad day and they don't feel like talking to you. But if you at least try to keep your options open when speaking with other investors and agents. Again, if you guys have been following, you've heard me talk to many agents and investors, and very rarely do you actually get anything back when you send them your email for properties. But as you can see right here, I mean, how many properties is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20 plus properties, plus other properties for us to look at, possibly JV on. I mean, guys, that is super powerful. My buyers are different from his buyers. He sends me over, close to 30 properties to look at that I can pass on to my buyers. I've made it clear to him that I'm another wholesaler. He knows that. And so there you go. I mean, that's 30 potential deals that you have right there in front of you for one phone conversation. You turn one of those deals into a $1,000, or a $2,000 deal, you're going to make $1,000. I mean, it literally cannot get any easier than that, right? And then also, if any of you are shy to get on the phone, I want to make it very clear that, I mean, you can hear me, I'll stutter on the phone. I'm not perfect on the phone by any means, but I want to break this down, let's see, as simple as possible. I'll put it in like basketball terms, right? If you don't ever shoot the basketball, well, you're not going to be very good if you try to play. So same thing goes with the phone. If you're never on the phone, if you avoid talking on the phone, you're going to be rusty, or maybe you've never talked on the phone or done this before. You're going to start off slow. You're going to start off choppy. You're going to stutter, and that just happens because whenever you are not used to being able to do that or hold those conversations, the words don't flow. But the only way to get better at your conversations and at your conversions on the phone is to, day in and day out, you have to practice, and then you'll notice once you do it consecutively, then you're able to, it just rolls off the tongue, makes it a lot easier. So hopefully some of this has helped, guys, and I am going to go ahead and end this broadcast for today. And next time we touch base, I will be at the beach, and we will be operating virtually from Ocean City, Maryland. So comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.